so that we can tailor the conversation to you, right? Good evening, good day, good morning, for whatever you're joining from, right? I want to know, are there product managers in the house? Are there um software engineers in the house? Are there data analysts in the house? Are there AI experts in the house? Let us know in the chats. Let us know. Let us also know where you are joining from, right? Are you joining from the United States? Are you joining from the United Kingdom? Are you joining from Ghana, from Kenya? You're welcome. This edition promises to be an impactful one. You're going to learn about technician. You're going to learn about relocation and settlement. You're going to learn about living and landing a job in the UK. You're going to learn about working in the UK. We're going to learn about living in the UK. Right. For those that already have technician visas, right, this is an amazing opportunity. So if you're already in the UK and you're looking to break into tech, you're looking to get a tech job, you want tips on how to navigate the ecosystem in the UK, this is a fantastic session for you to join. If you have friends, if you have family members, if you have colleagues and even enemies or frenemies, like we like to call them, all right, you want to send the link to them to join right now. Let them know that the session is on. Welcome once again. Welcome to today's eMigr8 live session, eMigr8 Open Day session is brought to you by eMigr8. We have our coach today, who is a seasoned product leader. She's an author, right? And we will get to her shortly. You want to hear her. You want to learn from her. She is also she has also gotten the Global Talent Visa in the past, and she's been on this platform before to share about her journey to getting Global Talent endorsement. So if you go on our YouTube page or on our app, you'll find her session, her previous session, where she talked about getting the Global Talent Visa. Now she's going to be sharing more about working and living in the United Kingdom, right? So a lot of tips that she'll be sharing today. You're welcome. We're eMigr8. We're a tech-enabled platform for relocation and settlement, right? That is what we do. We're a tech-enabled platform for relocation and settlement. If you're first time, you're welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Hope you are progressing on your journey to becoming globally attractive. So yeah, you're welcome, everyone. Please do use the chat to connect. You use the chat to introduce yourself. Do share where you're joining from. Let us know what you do. Are you a product manager? Are you a project manager? Are you a software designer, right, or builder? Let us know. Are you an AI expert? Let us know so that we can tailor the conversation to your field and your sphere, right, so that this will be more impactful to you, right? Fantastic. Living and working in the UK as a global talent, that is our conversation today, right? And our coach Yanju Lawa is going to be sharing her experience. She's an author in this field, so there's a lot that she's going to be sharing with us today. She's a product leader, she's a digital transformation expert, and she's a recipient of the Global Talent endorsement and visa, right? You're welcome. So let's get into it. Let's do a bit of housekeeping before we bring on our coach, just to acquaint you with our services, acquaint you with our partners, and what you can get from our ecosystem, right? We are a tech-enabled visa platform, and we leverage on tech visas opportunity. So if you are in tech, you're welcome. If you're trying to break into tech, you're welcome, right? And this is a useful session. If you are trying to apply for Global Talent, you want to listen to this session, because by the time you get to the United Kingdom, you will be living in the United Kingdom, you'll be working in the United Kingdom. So you want tips that will equip you for that journey before you get there. So if you are still applying, this is a fantastic session for you to join. If you are already in the UK and you're looking for your next job, or you're looking to break into you look for a break in your next career opportunity, this is a fantastic opportunity. If you're in the UK and you're switching careers, you're switching roles, and you're moving from one sector and you're moving into tech, right, this is also a fantastic session for you to join in. All right. Um, This is eMigr8 Open Day. We have replay videos on our app. We have replay video on the eMigr8 apps. We have replay video on YouTube also. Feel free to binge on them, right? They are free resource. Right. There are a lot of information. We've had a lot of coaches share their journey, share their story, share insight on how to apply for various visas, from the US O1 visa to the US EB1, EB2 visa to the Canada startup visa to the Hong Kong visa, to Australian national visa, right, to global talent visa. We've talked about virtually all the digital visa, all the tech visas there is, and we still have a lot of content to bring to you. We do these sessions as like a general coaching session to be able to afford you the opportunity to ask questions, to introduce you to new information that you can leverage on your journey. So various tech opportunity, various tech-enabled visa opportunity has been discussed in the past. And if you get into the app, right, you are able to leverage and get those information, right, at your fingertip, all in one hub, right? So get the eMigr8 app. You can get it via your Apple Store, your Google Play Store, or you can go to our website, emigratvisa.com/tech, and you would have the opportunity to download the app, right? Sign up, register. There are a lot of goodies. There are a lot of free stuff in the app. You can connect with us directly via the app. You can book a coaching session via the app. You can connect with the coach via the app. There are a lot of resource materials that we have in the app, right? We have a package called Settle in the UK as a tech talent. So if you're a tech talent from anywhere in the globe, right, and you're looking at the UK as a fantastic place you want to settle in, we have a package called Settle in the UK. It's open to beginner and experts. It's beginner friendly, it's expert friendly. That's what it means. All right. It's also family friendly. You can move with your spouse. You can move with your family. It's also available for those that are looking to switch visas, right? All you need for your investment is equity and time and the base of investment budget. It takes roughly 3 to 6 months in terms of timeline estimate for you to get this package, right? So if you're interested, there are two numbers on the slide that you want to you can take a screenshot of the slide, or you can just go to the website, emigratvisa.com. You'll find a short form there. What we want to know is who you are, what information are you looking at for, so that we can connect you with the right department, the right people, the right resource, the right coach that can work with you on your journey, right? So take advantage of it. At the eMigr8, we talk all things tech, we talk all things talent, right? And we have our regular open day twice a month, right? This is the second one from the month of June. The next will be in July, right? And we'll be talking about Innovator Founder Visa, the UK Global Talent Visa. Do well to follow us on our social media handles, eMigr8 on Twitter and every social media platform you use, because we share information, who is coming up next, when is the next edition coming, holding, all right, so that you are informed and you can invite your community, tech enthusiasts, your friends to our next session, right? Which is so migrate with eMigr8. So we are eMigr8. We're a tech-enabled visa platform for relocation and settlement. You can find us on Google Play Store as eMigr8. Download the app, or Apple Play Store, or on our app, on our own website, emigratvisa.com/tech visa. You can also find us on Facebook, Telegram, and of course, we have the eMigr8 AI also, right? These are different platforms where you can find us. You can leverage the information on this platform to connect and equip yourself for your journey, right? So we have ecosystem, we have WhatsApp communities, we have Telegram communities, we have our app where there are a lot of information. So do where to take advantage of these platforms, do where to connect with us, and we will be there to welcome you. Now, what is eMigr8? I've said it before, we're a tech-enabled visa platform. What we do is that we help you become globally attractive. How do we do this? We do this by helping you review your profile as an individual, or if you're a co-founder or a founder of a startup, we help you review your tech-enabled business profile to make sure you are globally attractive We connect you with the right people, connect you with the right information, connect you with the right training if you need to do a bit of training, right? To make sure you are putting your best foot forward for the opportunities that do exist. The tech community, the tech global ecosystem is very competitive now. And the difference between you and the next person is the information you have and the information you are applying, right? And that is where we come in to provide this information and to give you coaches, mentors that can work with you to make sure, all right, you have the right tools, you have the right framework to work with, right? For us, the visa is only a side effect of the objective, right? Our objective is to make you globally attractive. When you're globally attractive, you will find opportunity everywhere in the world because nation will invite you in to close their shortage or invite you in to create tech businesses that can employ their citizens. So it's a win-win. And you are once you are globally attractive, you become a global asset to the world. Um, in terms of eMigr8 services, if you're new here, 85% of our services are free, and I'll come to that later. One of our services, what we are doing now, which is an open day event, which is free, all right, where you get information. You can use the chat to ask questions. So we have general inquiry, right? Sessions. We also have hand holding sessions and coaching sessions. You can book for coaching sessions through the app, right? And if you are on the call to the end of the call, you get to win prizes that you can redeem right through our community, right? We have preliminary assessments for your qualification status, right? To check if you are qualified for one visa or the other, for Global Talent visa, for Canada Startup visa. We can sit down with you and check and review your profile. And we can work with you through a curated, self-directed roadmap to apply for a tech-enabled visa, right? We have these services and they are largely free, right? However, we also have the Global Talent Visa special packages where we review the UK Global Talent application and also the endorsement review process, right? So if you are planning to apply for the UK Global Talent, allows review with you. If you have applied and the feedback is not successful, we can review with you the endorsement review process just to make sure you are dotting your I's and crossing your T's and putting the right information in the right segmentation, right? You know, the mandatory criteria and the optional criteria, and putting the right data set where they can find it and where it makes most communicate better your skill sets and your experience, right? So allows help you dot your I's and cross your T. We do have premium services. What I mean by that is that we do have paid services, right? 85% of what we do are free. But however, there are people with unique circumstances in terms of maybe your timeline is short, right? You need a personalized coach, you need a standard package, or you need a customized service that would see to it that we are constantly tailoring our experience or tailoring the coach's experience around your timeline. Then you have to pay for such services, right? And that's the premium service. But however, we do have free service. We have the do-it-yourself package where you are doing it. You are applying for your tech visa yourself, right? We have frameworks that you can use. We have coaches that you can leverage their time, right? And we also have the do it with me, where one of our coach who is going to sit with you and work with you throughout your process of of applying for your visa. Then we have the do it for me. This is where we do a bit of project management and we do a bit of logistics around making sure that your application is well put together. Now, if you are interested in any of these packages, the best place to start is in the chat, right? You can send us a chat right now and we can connect with you. The second best place to start is emigratvisa.com/tech visa. We just want to meet you. Give us your name, give us your stocks, let us know what you're looking out for, and we can connect you with the right information. And you can also connect through our app, and you can reach us also through the eMigr8 app, right? And packages that we speak to, this is just a summary. This is not an exhaustive list. We have moved to the UK as a global talent, which focuses on the United Kingdom, and that is the Tech Nation endorsement visa, right, or otherwise called the Global Talent Visa. We do have the UK Innovator Founder Visa, which focus in the UK. So it's moved to the UK as a founder. So if you have a startup, and you think your startup has a market in the United Kingdom, any part of the United Kingdom, whether Scotland, Northern Ireland, or England itself, right? You can apply for the Innovator Founder Visa, and we can help you, coach you through that process to make sure you can move your business, your startup idea, to United Kingdom. That is the focus on the Innovator Founder Visa for the UK. We have the Canada Startup Visa also. So if you prefer North America, and you want to move your startup to North America, we have a package which is move to Canada as a startup founder. Right, come talk to us, and we are able to give you the information that you need for that. And we also have visas that move you and that speaks to moving to the United States, moving to Canada, move to France, move to Germany, and the UK Tech enabled visa pathway for skilled workers and things like that. We have it all in our ecosystem. Please come talk to us. And if you are thinking about so how best can we work together, this is just a snapshot of how we can work together. We have packages, right? That speaks to you doing it yourself. Like I said before, do it yourself. These are visa specific education community template shortlist that we can share with you, right? The features that we do have that we can share with you. We have templates, resource, um, community educational materials that we can share with you, right? That you can use by yourself, but you can also work with a coach, right? For the do it yourself package, or you can work with us directly for the do it with me package. Now you can take a screenshot again for this and look at it through and come to a conclusion to say this is best for me, right? But for the personalized coaching service, that again does not fall under the remit of do it yourself because it's coaching, right? You need a coach to coach you. For the premium AI and personalized AI guide, that again, you need a coach and an AI to work with you on that. So that doesn't fall under the free offering, which is do it yourself. But however, for information, community, templates, checklist, tools, and resource, you can do it yourself. For short coaching sessions, right? We have bandwidth to allow a bit of short coaching session, right? And also we have a basic AI assistant. If you go to eMigr8.ai, there's a basic AI assistant that you can leverage for free. But however, of course, we have packages and for the do it with me and do it for me package where we introduce personalized coaching, we introduce premium AI agent, we introduce strategic coaching session just in case you need specific information or you're applying for specific areas. So for example, if you're trying to break into the AI space and you're moving from a part of the world to an AI-driven community or ecosystem, we put you in touch with an AI coach, right? And also we have ongoing support, right? Hand-holding. And even when you land in the UK or in your country, we have post package support that allows you integrate well and faster into your new community. So take advantage of our services and our packages. And emigrateVisa.com/tech visa is where you want to go, right? Or you can drop a message on a chat and we can connect with you right away. Again, the Emigrate app is available for you to download. Again, we have our communities. I would share the link to this community on the chat, right? So it's a WhatsApp community, Telegram community, Facebook community. We also have a LinkedIn and YouTube community. You can join any of the community, right? What we ask is that you do engage, ask questions, contribute answers to question where you do have, because we believe everybody has something to offer. So if you have an answer to a question that have been asked, it's a community, please provide the answer, right, and help somebody. Also share, like, and also comment or in the community. That's how you engage, and that's how you get the best out of the community. Also, please, it's a community, and we also preach mutual respect people's time, respect the community, and don't just put junk there. Ask specific questions that relate to specific visa route that you're chasing or that you're looking at or that you're exploring. Okay, but I'll put the link and on the chat, and you can join any of the community that is that you see fit, right? And again, I've spoken about our app, right? You can download our app. There's a lot of information. It's a one-stop shop for everything migration when you're focusing on tech, right? So if you're looking at the US route, we have information about that. If you're looking at the UK route, we have information about that. If you're looking at Australia, we do have information about that. We've talked extensively on these visas opportunities, and we have the resource, both the video resource and the written resource, documented resource on the app, so you can leverage on them. We have checklists that you can leverage on in terms of do-it-yourself package, where we can provide a checklist that you can work with, and different resource, different tools that you can work with through the app. You can also book coaching session, and there are people winning, by the way. There are people winning free coaching sections through the app. And that how that happens is if you use the app for straight 7 days, it's called the 7 day streak, you stand a chance of winning a short coaching session, right? So if you are binging, watching content on the app, reading content on the app for straight 7 days, you stand a chance of winning a coaching session. That coaching session is positioned to help you answer all the questions you possibly will have as a result of being on the app, right? And you can use that towards your journey, right? Again, you can get the app on Google Play Store. You can get it on Apple Play Store. You can also get it on our website, emigrate.com, right? Emigrate with an 8, then visa.com. We're also extending the goodies to your friends and family. So if you refer your friends and family to the platform, right, you get to win £35, right? Terms and conditions do apply, by the way. But yes, it's ongoing. People have won in the past. You can also win. All you need to do is refer your friends and family members, colleague, co-workers, frenemies, and who are looking at relocation, right? They're looking to move, and they're looking for a platform that can support them on that journey. eMigr8 is that platform. And if you do refer them, you get a win, stand a chance of winning cash prize and also coaching opportunity, free coaching opportunity, right? So I've been talking about eMigr8 for the last few minutes, and the question you may have is maybe why eMigr8, if you still have that question, right? For us, we think the journey, relocation journey, we've rethought it, and we think it goes beyond just traditional method of seeing an opportunity and just applying for it. We think it has to be data driven now, right? Because there are information that the host nations are looking at for, and we can use data driven solutions to help position your application to get the desired outcome that you're looking for. So an AI-powered platform to give you precision so that you're saying the right thing in the right boxes, right? And you're getting across, you're connecting, you're communicating, and you're getting across well to your assessor or to the recruitment officer or the immigration people. We do have that robust engagement just beyond the traditional method. Data affords you the opportunity to put a lot more content in your application process, right? We have instant insights, right? So real-time updates, actionable and recommended when you need them. So if you're working with eMigr8, you get real-time updates from our communities through our app, through our AI assisted platform. You get real-time updates. Again, we can personalize at scale. We can personalize to suit your strategy, right? Have a tailored made experience just for you. So if you are, let's say you are in banking and you're trying to move fully into technology space, into the tech space, and you want to leverage global talent visa, right? We can personalize your experience because we know that you have not been in tech and you need to be able to walk through the different hurdles of understanding tech language, understanding what you need to put in different boxes, right? Putting the square peg in square holes and round pegs in round holes. We can personalize your experience for you. And we are global, right? We are connecting beyond two locations. We speak to the US, we speak to Canada, we speak to migration or relocation to Australia, relocation to any of the European countries as digital nomad, right? And we offer seamless experience. So from our app and to our community, again, it's user-friendly platforms, right? And we're designed to help you reach your outcome faster. So eMigr8 AI, it's what you want to leverage for talent mobility and for settlement and relocation, right? We do have a lot in our ecosystem that you can benefit from preparation to roadmap session to pre-qualifying to navigating the application process and even the endorsement process. If you're looking at the global talent visas and relocation and integration, we have a lot of information around those. When it comes to preparation, again, these sessions is geared towards preparation because we share information. We give educational information also that you can use. Educational in tech, please. So just educating you about what has changed in the global space in terms of tech visas, what is new, what has been introduced, right? We give you those information. Roadmap session, we have partners that can offer you training opportunity. We have partners that can offer you pre-incubator opportunities for you to incubate your ideas, right? Your startup, right? We have partners that offer you bootcamp, right, to accelerate your growth, right? And these are things we put together with our partners to make you globally attractive, right? I'll be talking about our partners in the next slide, but these are the information. If you need, we are not immigration experts, by the way, we're not immigration lawyers, but if you need a lawyer or you need an immigration consultant, we can connect you with one, right? Again, we do have mentors we can connect you with. If you are looking for mentors in a particular space, in a particular field, this platform can connect you to mentors. If you're looking for accelerators in Canada to be able to leverage the Canada startup visa, this platform can network you, can connect you. So there are a lot we bring to you as eMigr8s, and we don't do this alone. We do this with our partners, right? So if you connect with us through any of our platforms, right, we are able to connect with you and give you more information. We have a few minutes for this session. But however, the conversation continues in the chat room, continues in our community, and continue in our coaching sessions. So do well, um, feel free to connect with us. Now I'm going to talk about our partners. One of our future partner is Bincom Dev Center. This Bincom Dev Center is a technology hub for building tech talent, for building startup, and for enhancing tech talent. So these are the pillars they focus on, and they have different packages and different services that they offer. One of such service is the Beacon Global Tech program. This is for beginner level. If you're a beginner in the room, or if you're intermediate, right, or you're self-taught, learned, you went on YouTube, University of YouTube, to learn, which is fantastic, by the way. But you would need exposure, right? You would need working on real life project to give you experience, and that is what Beacon Global Tech program offers you: an opportunity to learn skills, an opportunity for you to gain experience by working on real life projects, an opportunity for you to gain exposure by working again on real life projects, talking to clients and understanding what the client need and delivering end to end a solution for a client, right? And that is the proposition: learn skill, gain experience, and gain exposure. So if you're in that category, you want to go to bincom.net/tech talent. If you are in this category, you want, when I mean category, if you're a beginner in the tech space, whatever language you are building, like C#, Java, Node.js, or you are the Python, R, whatever language you are building, the Bincom Global Talent has it, right? And you can leverage the platform, right? Just connect with them, and they will give you a schedule of when the next cohort starts, and you can be part of it, right? If you're already in the UK, all right, and you're looking to land a role, land a job in tech environment, right? Maybe you're trying to switch career, right? This package is for you. So it's called Become a Tech Talent. So if you're in a different field and you want to leverage tech, you want to build, you want to break into tech, this is a fantastic platform package for you. It affords you an opportunity to get tech trainings, right? It gives you an opportunity to have an individual coaching, tech coaching session, right? So you sit down with a career coach and he or she can advise you on how to navigate the journey. It also gives you opportunity for apprenticeship with UK company, right? And other features and benefits. Of course, it comes with an ecosystem that you'll be part of, a community that you'll be part of. Now, this is a paid platform, right? And it has been discounted to £1,000 for 3 months, right? So you're going to get training, tech training, you're going to get tech career coaching services, and you're going to get opportunity to intern or be an apprenticeship in a UK company. All this put together, discounted for £1,000. Take advantage of that. And a lot of people have benefited from it and they'll be able to navigate the tech ecosystem in the UK. Baincom.net/global tech is where you want to go to, or send a message to the number +44 78795 That is the number you want to send a text or a text or a WhatsApp number, a message to, and the admin would get back to you. Right. If you're a mentor in the room, an expert in the room, and you are trying to connect with mentees, either to build your profile or to build your confidence, or this is a platform for you, right? Baincom mentoring platform. And also, if you're a mentee looking to get a mentor in a particular field, right? Everybody at some point, we're either mentors or mentees, but at some point we're mentees because we're always looking to learn new skills. We're always looking to learn new experience and looking ahead, in terms of who is in front of us. So if you're in the product space or you're trying to break into the product space, you want to get a mentor. If you are trying to break into, software generally, you want to get a mentor in your specific area. If you're looking into AI, there are people that have gone further in AI. They might be younger, they might be older, right? Don't introduce the bias, right? They might be younger, they might be older, but their coaches, mentor is just someone that has the information that you're looking for and is willing to share their time to give you those information, right? So we have this platform where we connect mentors to mentees and mentees to mentor, right? If you are in any of the category mentor or mentees, you want to go to baincom.net/mentor registration, right, at connect, and we will match you with a mentor, or the platform will match you with a mentee, right? And there is a project management section going on where we make sure the touch point is happening and value is being delivered across both ends, right? So you want to go there and put your profile down and we can connect you. Now, this again, it's a partner platform, the Baincom, last by Baincom, where you get to build a startup, right? From scratch, by the way. So if you are in the services field or consultancy field of technology, right? Most visas opportunities are targeted towards people that have built products. So you hear things like product-led digital technology, right? You have experience building a product-led digital technology, or you have an experience building products that people are leveraging, an app, a solution, a portal, whatever the case is, right? And this platform gives you the opportunity to work with 3 to 10 other creatives and to be the startup, which is fantastic, by the way, which I think is an amazing opportunity. If you have already built a startup and you want to increase your portfolio of number of products you've built, this is also a fantastic platform to leverage. It's not just for relocation. The job market is a bit funny these days, so you want to build more products and build your portfolio out across different verticals so that you are better positioned to land a job, right? Our coach is going to tell us more about that, right? But I'm just saying, if you have the more product you've built, the more experience you build, the more comfortable you are going into a new role to replicate that success, right? So Baincom Dev Center offered you lab by Baincom, right? If you go to beacom.net/labs, it gives you an opportunity to actually build a product first time, real time, with 10 other co-founders, and you guys work together, pick an idea, work on the idea, take the idea to market, right, and scale the idea. I think it's a fantastic opportunity, right, for everyone. Whether you are a founder already or you are just a developer, it's an opportunity for you to actually build more product or build a product. So take advantage of that, right? There's a tech career coaching platform, right, that our partner offers, that gives you information around landing your next role, all right, give you information about relevant experience in your targeted country if you're looking to apply for a job outside of your primary country, right? Also give you information about landing job in your primary countries, right? It helps you connect to recruiters and gives you job opportunity, put in front of job opportunity that can offer you sponsorship, right? It's a paid service, by the way. Tech career coaching service is paid, right? But if you go to beacom.net/tech career coaching, right, and leave your information with them, the administrator is able to get to you and connect you with coaches that can work with you through your journey. All right. Back to eMigr8, back to the visas. I've just talked about our partners. Back to the visas that we speak to, right? And the countries that we cover. Again, this is not an exhaustive list, but you can take a screenshot or a snapshot of this, and you can do your research on this visas opportunity, right? From the US, from the UK to the US to Canada to France, there are several visa opportunities that's available online. And like I said in our default package, you can do it yourself. You can actually apply for these visas yourself. You can also say, okay, wait a minute, I want to work with someone. So you can ask for us to work with you to do it, right? In sense of do it with me package, right? Where a coach work with you, and you can say, you know what, do it for me. I want you to handle logistics and project management for these because I'm busy. I'm trying to land the next unicorn. So I'm very busy with my time. So you can do it. I need you to do it for me, right? There's that package do exist on our solution, right, at eMigr8. So we speak to talent visas. We speak to startup visas. So if you're a startup founder or you're looking to become a startup founder, we have visas that speaks to you, from the innovator founder visa to the international entrepreneurship payroll visas for the US, to the Canada startup visa, to the French tech visa for founders, right, to the German startup visa. These are all opportunities across the globe that you can leverage, and there are many more, right, that we can also speak to, just depending on where you're looking at. Of course, the talent visas, we're going to be talking about global talent a bit today for the UK, the O1 visas for individual with extraordinary ability for the US, the global talent stream for Canada. These are visas opportunities that these countries have put out to attract the best minds, the best business ideas, the best skill sets to their ecosystem, right? So you want to take advantage of this, you can Google about them. There are a lot of information around them. But if you go to our app, we have loads of information around them. We have videos, we have resource that we've done in the past that we have curated to help you answer most of the questions that you possibly will have. And if you still have more questions, then we can connect you to a coach that can work with you one-on-one to make sure we delivered your desired outcome that you're working towards, right? One of the things that is common with those visas opportunity is the fact that you have to be globally attractive. Countries are looking for individuals who are globally attractive, who have the right skill set to deliver in the right environment. So you have to be globally attractive. And one of the ways that you can do that is, again, by sharpening your skill set, belonging to communities that help you project your skill sets, right? And putting your best foot forward. This is where the eMigr8 community comes into play, right? And the visas opportunities, right? The visas opportunities that we look at usually are family friendly, right? And they give you pathway to relocation, pathway to settlement, I mean to say. They're beginner friendly also, right? So these are the benefits of tech-enabled visas largely, right? That's why we focus more on tech-enabled visa opportunity. We can talk in details. If you leave us your information, we can reach out, or you can reach out to us, and we can share more opportunities depending on the country you're looking at, depending on the visa opportunities you're looking at. We can share more benefits in focus, right? We do have a lot of resource, like I said, on the app. One of the resources you will find is a document on tech-enabled visa landscape, which just highlights to you what has changed in the landscape, in the tech landscape, in the previous years, what has been introduced, what has been taken out. For example, the UK government, are constantly updating immigration rules and regulations, and you want to know what is new. And this is why we have this document. It's free resource. You can read through to see what's new. And we're looking at the past, what they've done in the past. You can tell what is coming in the future most of the time, right? So that can give you an idea what you should be doing now, what visa opportunity you should be chasing, what visa opportunity you should be exploring, and things like that. And so that's why this information is useful, and it's free. It's on the app. If you download the app, you just find the link there, the tech-enabled visa landscape, just for your information, right? If you think you don't yet qualify for the tech visas, I beg to differ, right? And because there are a few things that you can do, right? So if you're a newbie in tech, or you are a junior developer and you're thinking, well, I don't yet qualify, one of the things that we think you can do is to curate a personalized roadmap, right? And we can work with you to do that. From that will take you from being a newbie, or take you from being a beginner or intermediate to expert level, right? It's just a roadmap, things you should be doing, skill sets you should be sharpening, skill sets you should be picking up, where you can pick them up, right? Spaces you can connect to be able to get the right information, just to sharpen your skill set, projects that you should be embarking on, open source project, and things like that. We can come up with a roadmap that you can work with, and in no time, with your inputs, I have to say, you will get the desired output, right? So that is Binkom, that is eMigr8 that we've spoken about. Then that brings us to our conversation today, right? Which is living and working in the UK as a global talent. So if you are looking to apply for a global talent visa, this is an opportunity for you to have a view, right, into what it feels like to be living and working in the UK as a global talent. If you're already in the UK and you're looking to break into job opportunities in the UK, or you're looking for more information on how to settle properly in the UK, this is a fantastic session. And we have our coach, Yanju Lawa, who is a product leader, right, and a digital transformation expert, a global talent recipient herself, coming to share with us right now on her journey, a bit of her journey. We've talked about her journey of to get global talent before now, but today she's going to be focusing on living and working in the UK as a global talent. How easy is that? What are the tips you should know? How can you navigate? By the way, she's an author of a fantastic book that I recommend you guys get. If time allows us, we'll talk more about the book. Hi, Ojo, are you with us yet?
Yes, I am.
All
Can you hear
right.
me okay?
Yes, it's good to have you. I will stop sharing now to bring you up. Right. So guys, please use the chats. I see a lot of conversation already going on. Use the chat as she's speaking, and we'll get to your question as fast as we can. All right. So Yanju, over to you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Right. So good evening, everyone. That was a long conversation. I'm sure everybody probably needs a break now or needs a coffee. But
Yeah.
thank you so much, Moody. That was really intensive and a lot of information to take in.
Yeah.
Before I jump right in, I would like to know to get a feel for who is in the room. I know a few people have put comments in the chat already, which is great. I see we have this Rashid Sani, a cybersecurity analyst and cloud security engineer. We have Donna, who is a business analyst. We do have, who else has put something in there? I would like to get a feel for who is in the room. So if you can just pop in the chat really quickly, your current role, are you looking to apply for a visa? just put your status, your current status or your role, what you're looking to do, where you're joining from, if that's what you'd like to put. But I would just like to get a feel for who is in the room. Can
Yeah.
we do that really quickly, please? Everyone, just pop it in chat, just so I know that people are listening as well.
Yeah.
As I know it's been a long day
We,
and
we
I've
do
been
have,
speaking to people as well.
okay, a few people now. There's a business analyst, there's a digital marketer,
Mm.
right? Front
Front-end
end
developer.
developer.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on. Thank you, Chema. Gerard, digital marketing, beautiful. Anyone else? Go on, just pop it in the chat. I like to see and know who's in the room. That would be really great. Popping up the screen share as well. Let's see if that's coming up.
Okay.
Yeah, great. Let's see. Come on. Let me see. Can you see my screen okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, great. We have Onyedi Kachi, international student, MSc Big Data Technologies, beautiful. We have a Samuel Ekele, DevOps and Infrastructure Engineer, beautiful. Anyone else? Pop it up there. Just want to know who is in the room. Joining from Lagos. I see a lot of people are joining from Lagos, from Nigeria, from Ofra. Okay, great. That's good to know. 1 more minute. Just give a couple of people the opportunity to drop their details as well, just so we know who is on the call. Okay. One last person. Who is the lucky person? Beautiful passion. And Bayode joining from Lagos. Awesome. Into photography and videographer. Oh, that's interesting. That is really interesting. The creative space is quite interesting, and I'm sure there's a visa for that as well for the creatives. That's awesome. Great to have you. Okay. Without further ado, I think we just go right into it. We've got about half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour to go, and I would like to just run through a few things and then, take you from there after the call if there are other things you would like to know. I'm conscious it's almost 9 p.m. and a lot of people have been at work and tired from work, so you probably want to be resting now. But we'll make good use of the time, and I would like for everyone to be here. If you're on the call, just try to be here. I know you may be multitasking and doing other things, but try to listen and get as much as you can from this call because it's a free session, but don't take it as free. See it as something that would be useful for you. And if there are other questions that you think you'd like to get answers to, feel free to reach out to Moody or reach out to me as well if you want to. But it's great to have everyone here. Okay, so today's conversation is living and working in the UK as a global exceptional talent. Well, I put exceptional talent because that's the pathway that I came through. I know there's also the exceptional promise, which is for 5 years, but I came in as a global exceptional talent. So I'll be talking from that perspective tonight. And there'll be Q&A at the end. But if you have any burning questions, you can pop it in the chat as well. And then I can come back to it later. But feel free to pop the questions in chat or hold on to the questions till we're done with this session and then you can ask questions. Okay, cool. Yeah, Felix, I see you. Backend engineer from Ibadan. Awesome. Cool. Right. So before we dive right into it, I'd like to just give a quick background about myself, um, about my journey as a global talent in the UK. So this is a snapshot of me. If I think about myself, I think this sort of captures who I am. I am very impact driven and value driven as a person, both personally and career wise. I feel like if you're doing something and it's not impactful, then there's no point doing it. Um, like Moody mentioned earlier, I am a product and digital transformation expert. So I've been in the product space for a while now, and my core area is digital transformation and making sure that businesses um, transform digitally from traditional ways of working and all that traditional ways of doing things. Um, my belief is impossible is nothing, and that goes to everything I try to do. So if I want to do something, the only thing that will stop me is me. So I believe that anything you want to do is possible as long as you put your mind to it. I am a product Proverbs 31 trainee. That means that I'm not a perfect person in any way, shape, or form. I'm constantly learning, constantly trying to be better and do better every single day. Um, I I'm quite adventurous. I like to say that, but I mean, as you grow older, you want to slow down in life. But yeah, I like to say that I I try to be adventurous as much as possible. And then of course I'm a family lover. I yeah, I'm a mom of two. I've got an amazing husband and two beautiful children. And finally, I am a UK global exceptional talent. Well, that was the pathway that I came into the UK through, which is great. This basically just sums it all up. And today we'll be talking about this part of the story, which is the UK exceptional talent. Well, I think I'll just remove the exceptional talent thing because it just makes it feel funny. But yeah, the UK Global Talent Visa and how how you can maybe not necessarily how you can get it, but how you can what it offers and the benefits and all of that. But we'll touch on that. If you have any questions, like I said, feel free to pop it in the chat and we'll get to it at some point during the call. Okay, so for starters, I said the exceptional talent thing can be a myth, but then I saw a question earlier from who dropped that question. How can I become a global talent or something similar in the chat earlier? How do I start with the application of being a UK global talent and all that? I mean, those are some of the questions that come to mind. Um, there are quite a number of things that you can do, like Moody has highlighted earlier, but for for the for the purpose of this call, I'd like us to focus and zone in on one of the things I mentioned, which is you becoming globally attractive, right? When we think global talent, the global talent endorsement, it is not enough to say, oh, I am a leader in my field, I am a photographer or a videographer, and I am exceptional. You can't just say that without proving it, right? So the your main priority would be how can I prove that I'm a global talent? How can I prove that I'm a leader in my field? I'm a backend engineer, but there are loads of backend engineers in the world. So what makes you different? What makes you exceptional? What makes you, you know, what separates you? What differentiates you from the crowd? What makes you a leader in that space? If you are a DevOps and infrastructure engineer, what about you or your expertise makes you a leader? What have you done? What are you doing in that space that sets you apart from the rest? That is really what the talent, well, the people, the endorsement organizations are looking out for. That's the only way they can endorse you and say, oh, actually, this person truly deserves this endorsement because he has done X, Y, Z, A, B, C. You need to be recognized. You can't just say I'm a leader or I am this. You need to prove that you're a recognized thought leader or emerging thought leader as well in that field because sometimes we want to understate our value or understate what we've accomplished or what we are doing. You may say that, oh, I am, let's say, I'm a business analyst or I'm a front-end developer, but you've done so much, but you're not shouting about it, you're not talking about it. It's just within your confines. It's not anywhere on the internet. It's not, nobody knows about it. There's no way for you to prove that. You just need to prove that you are recognized. And for you to do that, you need to be able to showcase what you're doing and put it out there, essentially. So if you're thinking about applying, your priority would be to prove that you are a leader or you're a talent, right? I've got 6 tips, or what I like to call 6 um pro tips for you tonight. And there are loads more that we can talk about. But maybe I'll give you a quick backstory about how I decided to, or how I got to the point where I decided to apply, right? So I was at the stage in my career where I've done quite a bit, quite a lot, in my space, built quite a number of products, worked in different organizations, and I realized that, yeah, I was doing all of that, but it was just within. And, naturally, you just be like, oh, I don't want to shout about it. Oh, I don't want to be proud. Oh, but nobody would know what you're doing except you talk about it. People are not mind readers. If you don't talk about it, nobody will know. You are what you say you are. If you're something and you're not able to say it, nobody would know about it. I was very involved in voluntary roles. I was training a few people. I was mentoring. I was contributing to different tech platforms as well. Also started to consult, which was the big game changer for me. I started to consult with one of the global organizations, with the companies in the US, TopTal, as a consultant. So I started to consult for like international organizations. And remember back then I was in Nigeria. I was working, my 9 to 5 was in Nigeria, but I was consulting for this US talent management company that had like loads of clients that were distributed across globally, right? And then also I was doing like recorded trainings for a couple of organizations as well. So at that time, even though I was doing my 9 to 5 in Nigeria and then I was doing all those other things, because I was consulting with those other global organizations, my pay was way higher than the industry standard, the national industry standard, and even within Nigeria at the time, my 9 to 5 job was really good as well. So besides the effects that was coming in, there was also the standard, really good pay as well within the industry. So all of that put together with all the side projects and freelancing and all of that, that really helped to build a robust um, portfolio of evidence, right? And at the time when I was doing all of that, I wasn't thinking of applying. I wasn't even thinking of relocating. I was just doing those things because, like I said earlier, I'm very impact driven, right? Um, and like someone likes to say, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So sometimes all of these things that you do, it's just better to do those things way in advance so that when you need it, it will come through for you, right? Um, Other things that came through were awards, for example, products that are developed. The organizations that I worked for would get those awards. I would attend those award events. I would be the one to receive it, all of those things. I was involved in some of those things. So I had all those records and all that out there. So it was quite easy for me to collate all of those um things. So like I said, I'm going to give you 6 tips of things that helped me. One is build your profile and brand, right? Like I mentioned earlier, you are what you say you are. If you are a photographer and a videographer, sorry, I'm picking on passion. I'm picking on you a lot because that's a unique area that a lot of people don't look into. If you're a photographer, you don't just want to say I'm a photographer. What makes you an exceptional photographer? If you say, oh, I'm a professional portrait photographer, an award winning, or something that describes you in a unique way, something that shows that you are exceptional in that space, right? That's how you want to position yourself. And to do that, there's a lot of rebranding that you need to do. Well, branding and rebranding, depending on how you see it. But you want to be known for something. Part of that is what part of that is what's your niche? What's your area of core competence? What's your specialization? So yeah, you're a back-end engineer, but what is your core focus? What differentiates you? What are you known for? Are you the best backend engineer in West Africa, or you're the best backend engineer in Ibadan. Like what product have you built that is so exceptional? What problem have you solved that you think, okay, based on this is what I want to be known for, and all of that. What do you want to be known for? Essentially, you need to define that. You need to know that. You can't just say, oh, I'm this boy. You need to prove that you're this and brand yourself as that, right? The other thing which I already touched on is to build your portfolio, because you need to show evidence. You can't say all these things. Evidence must be, right? There has to be evidence. You need to prove all of these things, and evidence could be publications, it could be your contribution to GitLab if you're an engineer, it could be trainings that you've done, maybe on other training platforms, it could be mentorship, it could be there's so many different things that you can put together as your evidence, because it's one thing to say it, but like I said, you need to prove it. You can't just say it without proving it. What is the evidence? You need to show the evidence. The third thing is to own your story. And that by owning your story, you need to be able to justify with confidence. I mean, these days of AI, people just go to ChatGPT, for example, and just type in, write me a personal statement or do that. Those things are great, but it needs to be authentic, right? It needs to be something that you would own. I tell people, if you cannot write about your own personal, I mean, AI can help you frame it and rewrite it and do all that, but you need to be able to write about yourself, what you've done, what you're doing, the things that you've been able to achieve, and own it. Because if you don't write it yourself, if you don't own it, it'll be hard for you to justify it. And then that's when imposter syndrome and all of those sort of things come in. So own your story, be able to justify it with confidence, and be able to know that this is me. And it's almost like telling yourself that this is me, this is what I've achieved, these are the things that I've been able to accomplish in my years of experience, or these are things I've been able to achieve in my journey so far. It's really important to own your story. And the reason why I say this is a lot of people find a way, or just find a way to get this endorsement, but then landing jobs can be really difficult because they've not been able to crack that owning your story bit. When you get to interview stages, it might be really difficult to convey the things that you've done. But if you have that story, if you know your story, regardless of what interview stage you get to, you're able to talk about things confidently. Oh, I did this during this, I did that. It's always easier for you to talk about it, and it's more believable when you own it and talk about it that way. I don't want to go into all that details just yet, but we can come back to that in a bit. Any questions or comments so far? Feel free to drop it in the chat. I'm not really looking at the chat, but if there are comments or questions, please pop it in. Okay, what number are we now? Let me see if people are listening. What number are we now? I said I was going to drop 6. How many have I dropped so far? 3. Okay, cool. The case is listening. Okay, cool. Right. Okay, so the fourth one is what we talked about earlier, to be globally attractive and relevant. This one I would say is really important because yes, you can think globally and act globally. I'm sorry, think locally, right? But you need to begin to see how you can act globally. Think globally, act locally. There's a saying. I'm mixing it up right now, but yes, you can be in whatever location. You can be in Nasarawa, you can be in Jigawa, anywhere you are, right? But be able to position yourself to be globally relevant and globally attractive. What do I mean? You want to be able to compete at that level, right? Because you are asking to be put at the same level with people that are working globally. You want to be at that same level. So, yes, you are within that local environment, but then you want to position yourself on a global stage. So I'll give you an example. When I was in Nigeria, right, I was working and living in Lagos, but I was also consulting for organizations in the US. And organizations in even Kuwait, places I'd never been before. I don't even think I want to go there. But I didn't confine myself to my local environment. I was doing all those things. You can also put things online, right? You can have like, I know these days a podcast and YouTube videos and all of that. Be able to put yourself out there as much as possible so that it can be globally relevant and not just within the confines of your local environment, right? Try and explore beyond your local environment. Your local environment should not restrict you. The internet is available. You should be able to be out there as well. And the fifth thing, which is very important, is do not burn bridges. Wherever you have worked, or schools that you have been to, or people that you've worked with at any point in your journey, it's important to keep in touch. Not just keep in touch for the sake of it, but be in their good books. I know people leave organizations like, oh, it's a toxic environment. I can't work there. Oh, yeah, that's fine. But have one or two people that you can always go back to if you need help from them or if you need something from that organization, because that really helped me. Because you never know when you need referees and all that. People would always, we're humans, we need people, we're not living in silos. Because for the application, you would always need referees, recommendations, and all of that. I was talking to someone who wanted to apply, and it was like, oh, I don't even have anyone that can recommend me. And I was like, whoa, you worked for 4 organizations. Are you saying to me that you can't go back to any of those organizations to ask for recommendation? So it is important that you don't burn bridges. You keep in touch. You have the right connection with the people that you've worked with because of the essentially because of the recommendations and references and all that that you may need. Not just because of that, but it's just always good to have that record because again, in this side of the world, they always require references. If you want to get a job, for example, you need references of people that you've worked with. I know people always find a way around it, but it's always good when it's genuine. You'll be more at peace with yourself and you'll be more confident as well. So it's better that you have those relationships and you don't burn bridges. And then the last one is to get expert advice or guidance, right? eMigr8 is a great platform already for you, so you have that access, which is great. So keep that as an option. I know you may be thinking, oh, the cost and all of that, but I mean, Moody mentioned earlier that like 85% of the services are free. So make the best use of that 85%. If you need tailored support as well, I'm sure they can find a way around it and work with you. But it's a great it's really good to get that expert guidance so that you're not just doing it on your own. And like I said earlier, we need people. We are humans. We need ourselves to survive. So get expert advice and try to do that. Okay. Any questions so far? No. Okay, cool. So we move into what the endorsement offers. So what does it really offer? And I put two um images, these images or GIFs here. For the most part, it feels like this, right? It just relaxed. It just relaxed, right? Because this endorsement, first, you don't need certificate of sponsorship from any organization before you can work in any organization, for example. So that freedom to move around. I moved to the UK about three, yeah, about 3 years plus now. It's been 3 years, and I've worked for 3 organizations. You're not stuck with one organization. You can move around. You don't need to be stuck with one organization on this visa, right? So it gives you that freedom. You can decide that actually I don't want to work here. You go somewhere else, and that's fine. You can you have the freedom to work. You have the freedom to set up your business. You have the freedom to do whatever you want to do on this visa. You don't need to be stuck with one organization. And you don't need their certificate of sponsorship, which is always a pain. A lot of people struggle to get that as well when they move here. So for the most part, you have that freedom. So like I said, you're not tied to a single employer. and you can set up your business and all of that. The other thing is it gives you shorter time to settlement. Like I said, I moved here just over 3 years ago, and I already have my indefinite leave to remain. I got that end of last year, so it's pretty straightforward. You don't need to wait for 10 years or 5 years as a normal route, and you don't need to bother too much with all of the immigration problems that's going on. It gives you that shorter time to settle. So yeah, kind of relaxed as well. There's no family rule, all those no family member rule doesn't apply. So you can bring your family. I'm here with my family. You have access to healthcare. Of course, you pay your IHS fee and all of that. And then, of course, there are other facilities that are relatively good as well. Good school, access to all the different things around and all of that. But that peace of mind is really good. I mean, it's a less chaotic environment and you can plan your life and do all of that. And then again, the last thing which I think I really like about the visa is it comes with its prestige as well. When you're talking with your friends and they say, "Oh, what visa are you on?" That's a bragging right. I am a global talent. That alone is something, gives you that prestige, that bragging right as well. So it also helps, make you feel good with yourself, if you like. However, on other days, it feels like this guy on the left, right? Um, because it's quite expensive. It's an expensive route, not just the application, but then I mean the application, the IHS fee, and then the ILR as well. There is a fast track option, but because you are a global talent, the expectation is that you have money, right? So the amount is different for global talent compared to other routes as well. So it's quite an expensive visa to be on. Maybe compared to other ones, maybe not as expensive, but you need to have a good chunk of money to spend as well. The other thing that can be a bit of tension with this visa is that because you're a global talent, it puts you on a pedestal and the expectations of you, people have expectations of you. There's a lot of pressure on you because you're supposed to be a global talent, right? You're forgetting that you're human as well. Yes, you're a global talent, but you're human. So sometimes the imposter syndrome sets in, and like, am I really all of that? The expectation is a lot as well at the workplace because they know, oh, this person is a global talent, but potentially some people know, some people don't. But because you are that, you put yourself under a lot of pressure to want to deliver as a global talent and do stuff as a global talent as well. And then the other thing that I was going to mention as well is getting a job can be tricky because the visa gives you access to get any job you want and do all of that, but it doesn't give you automatic job. Just like, when you have jobs, there's some jobs that come with COS or certificate of sponsorship that's almost like it's almost like a guaranteed job in quotes, not necessarily guaranteed, but it's almost like you have that job for the next 5 years and that's where you're going to be working, gives you that sort of safety. But with global talent visa, you're not stuck with the employer. So and then the job doesn't come automatically. You need to apply as regular people as well. It's not like you're specially they create a job specially for you because you're a global talent. You need to also for the job as well and try to get a job and do well on the job and deliver as well. So that's that as well. So like I said, for the most part, it feels really nice and relaxed and kind of good, really good. But on other days, as with everything in life, there are the downsides as well. Okay, cool. And that leads me nicely into my next slide, which is so you've gotten the endorsement, right? And I think some people have gotten endorsement here. Does anybody have the endorsement already in this group, in this chat? Can I just see? Can you pop a note in the chat so I know that you have or not? Anyone? No? No one yet. Okay, great. So let's assume you've gotten the endorsement. Yeah. Okay. I mean, there are many people in the community that have gotten it. Let's assume you've gotten the endorsement. Then now what? Endorsement does not automatically translate to a red carpet treatment. Okay. Does not automatically translate to a red carpet treatment. You would still need to go through some of the processes. You need to apply for jobs. You need to be ready to put in the work. You you would need to go through the process. Yes, endorsement is great, you get all that, but doesn't mean that you would not pay for some things, you would not do all of some of the things that are required as well. And it goes without saying that you need to understand the new terrain, you need to understand the regulatory environment, you need to understand the the culture, the general thinking of the people, um, and immerse yourself into the new environment, immerse yourself into the new culture. So some of the things that I usually recommend is first seek to understand the terrain. The fact that you have the endorsement doesn't mean people will automatically know, and they would not know that you're new into the country, for example, when you land. And there's so much to learn, so much to learn. Every day we're learning and we'll continue to learn, but you need to try and immerse yourself into the new terrain, understand the environment, understand the people. The way they think here is really different from how we think, and the expectations are different as well. Um, but one of the things I would also like to say is you need to start where you can, but don't lose focus. Start where you can. Um, Regardless of what you find, sometimes you come in and you realize that, oh, actually, maybe this wasn't exactly what I wanted, or this is not my expectation, or I'm already a CEO, or I'm already at this level where I'm from, and then I'm expected to come here and do what, or maybe start from a level that's less than what I expect and all of that. What I'll say doesn't really matter. Just start where you can, but maintain your focus on where you're going. It doesn't matter if you're not at that level here, because the point is you want to come in and learn as much as possible. So you need to give yourself that breathing space as well. Give yourself the opportunity to learn, get all the trainings that's required, because yes, we are already global talents and experts in our field, but we also need to constantly learn, that continuous development, continuous learning, acquire the skills that you need to thrive in this new environment. It could even be communication skills, it could be different things, right? All of those things are really important. The other thing that is also very important, linked to one of the things I mentioned earlier, is you need to position yourself correctly. And in doing that, you need to update your CV. Your CV is almost like your postcard is, I mean, goes without saying. We know that our CVs need to be able to represent us in rooms that were not there, right? So your CV needs to be u- updated using the appropriate style and format, because that's completely also different from what we're used to, where we're from as well. So get the style and format correctly and start applying for jobs early enough before you even relocate. I always recommend before you relocate, start to apply, get a feel for how those applications go. Get the no's, that's completely fine. It's okay to get those no's. It's okay to get all the unfortunately emails, because it also helps to learn and move through the journey as well. So don't take the no's or the unfortunately emails personally. It doesn't really matter. Find out why and try to learn and continue to tweak things and evolve and improve the processes as well, because it's really important. So updating your CV is really important, not just because of not just to apply for roles, but also to help you boost your confidence and help you consolidate all the things that all the experiences that you've gathered over the years into one place, and helps you sort of put your best foot forward, if you like, because that's really, really important. And then, of course, join communities of like minds. It's good that we have this eMigr8 community already. And Moody talked about loads of different community groups as well, the Telegram, the WhatsApp, the Facebook groups. All of those groups are really great to be in. And don't just be in those groups and sit back. Be in those groups and contribute as well. Learn from other people and also let people learn from you as well. It's actually really important. Um, just to successfully land a job, you need to position yourself. For me, I mean, I got my first job before I moved here. And one of the criteria for moving was I needed to get a job before before coming here. I didn't want to get here and then start chasing jobs around and all that. The bills will need to be paid, obviously. So it's really important. But in doing that, you need to think about your transferable skills. So in in our home country, where most of us are from, right? A lot of times we have those skills by working or doing jobs that require us to do more than the remit of more than the scope of our actual jobs. So sometimes you want to narrow down and focus on um, areas that you want to be known for. And I talked about being a specialist in your field and zoning in on a particular place, on a particular specialist role, if you like. Because here, right, they don't want you to be a generalist, someone that can do everything and anything. You need to be, because you're coming at an experience level, you need to be focused and you need to be known to be an expert in a particular area, right? So you need to position your CV to reflect that, which is always tricky because sometimes they're like, my CV is everything that I've done, but sometimes you need to tweak it to reflect not just what you've done, which is great, but also what you want to be known for, what reflects the area that you want to focus on, because that would really help you navigate your journey through through the job market. The job market is becoming really interesting these days, but and again, like I said, it's not a red carpet. You're not going to get red red carpet treatment because you're a global talent. You need to prove it. You need to show it in your CV, in your personal statement, in your if you want to set up a business, in your business pitches as well. It just needs to be really extensive because it needs to give you a bet to give you a good shot. You need to make sure that you have all that really detailed and gives you that leverage to get the kind of jobs that you want to get. What I like to say as well for things like interviews, when you eventually land the interviews and all that, try as much as possible to give it your best shot. Sometimes we have it at the back of our minds that, oh, they're not going to pick me. Oh, I'm not going to do well in this interview. You already have that mindset. And going into the interview, you're already going defeated. But if you prepared properly and you have your CV reflecting who you are, you have your personal statement describing what you've done, you have that confidence already. You can go in, can be enthusiastic as much as possible because they like to see that this person is really interested in what what they're applying for. They are not just applying for the job because you want the job. You are applying for the job because of the value that you want to add to them because they're really particular about what value are you going to be adding to us? What are you going to be doing differently? What are you bringing to the table? You need to prove that. Say those things and use the right language, use the right communicate the way they want, say the things they want to hear, not just things they want to hear, but things that you think you'll be able, the value that you'll be able to add to them. You need to communicate that really clearly. I wrote loads of some of those things in my workbook. There's a workbook that I recently released, and I can share the link in the chat if you want. But it's a good tool for you to identify those things because sometimes we don't really sit down to think about what we're really good at. So things that drive us or things that help us, you know, put our best foot forward. But when we sit down to do that, use a workbook to just play around with it and just write out those things. It would really help you shape your mindset and think about what you should be doing um differently as well. I'll share the link before the end of the call, just before we get right into it. But if there are questions or comments, please, we have a few minutes now because we're getting towards the end of the call. But I want to take questions. If you have questions, Moody, I don't know if you want to unmute people or you want them to just drop questions in the chat. I'd like to take questions and answers before we go to the end of the call. And I'm conscious I've been talking for a while now. If there are questions or comments, anyone, this is a good time to
So
throw
we
that
have a
out.
bit of question. Hi guys, use the chat for questioning. We might not be able to, we won't be able to pass the mic round. So we usually just use the chat to ask a question, and we also have some questions from the community that we do ask. So if we just jump into the question and answer segment. Guys, we are officially in the Q&A section and we have limited time. So is the questions we get are the ones we respond to. There's a question say you didn't talk about the global promise or the global talent for promise category. Is that right? But it's the same. I don't know if you want to respond to this person. You're on mute
Yeah,
now. Yeah.
yeah, sure. Yeah, like I said, I came in as a global exceptional talent, so the promise part is very similar. The difference is the years of experience that you've had pre prior to application. So it's pretty much the same journey, the same process. It's just the length of the visa. So we promise it's 5 years to settlement, but with exceptional talent, it is 3 years to settlement, but we promise it's 5 years to settlement. You go through the same journey, the same process, in terms of the application. The expectations are slightly different in terms of the amount of the years of experience that's required and the things that you'd have been able to achieve and all of that. But it's the same, it's almost the same process. Just the years of experience that's different. So everything else still applies, Chama,
Okay.
throughout it. Cool.
So we have a question, and I'm just going to read it out. In our communities, we do have opportunity to work in organization that gives us opportunity to work across the organization. So we have many skill sets, right? It is not uncommon to be the HR and be the recruitment and be the procurement manager, right? Because it's the way our companies are set up. Now, would you advise us to have all those experience listed on our CV when applying for job? Or what can we do differently to show those skill sets uh, because we've earned them and also be able to get job in the UK? Did you get the question?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's a brilliant question. It's one of the main problems that people have because I'll give you an example. When I was working with one of the organizations I work with in Nigeria, I was a user experience. I was called a user experience manager and something user experience and product manager, something a very long title, right? But essentially, I was doing research. I was doing design, not core design, but I was doing like prototyping and stuff. I was supporting the contact center, the sales, like the contact center agents that were working for like the e-commerce side of things. I was I was doing product stuff. I was doing a lot business analysis. I was doing all of that in the mix, right? So typical role in Nigeria, you would be expected to do everything and anything. But the reality here is that they want you, except of course you're coming at maybe a more junior level or entry level, you can potentially want to do that. But when you are at if you're coming at the experience level, you need to zone in on something, one area, right? And of course, I zone in on product because that's like my core area and all of that. There are loads of transferable skills from other roles or other things that you've done. So you want to communicate that and put that in your CV, obviously. But in your title, it could be called a, so for business analyst, for example, some organizations have them as business support, or you can have different titles. But when you're applying for the role, when you want to update your CV, you're using the right title, the right language that is consistent with the language that is used in the country that you want to work in. If you want to go to Canada, for example, their language can be potentially different from the UK, from the US. So your title for those roles of your previous experience needs to align with the applicable titles here. And sometimes we do some roles. We can be in a role that I'll use business analyst as an example again. Some business analysts in Nigeria, for example, do product management roles or delivery manager role. or all of those things. If you want to apply for a role here, you look at the role, look at what it's being called, look at the description of the role. Are there things that you've done in your previous role and it was called something else? If you were doing it your previous role and it was called business analyst, for example, but what you're applying for here, or what the description matches here is delivery manager. You want to tweak um your title in your previous role to align with what has been described in the role that you're applying for, so that there's that consistency. Because language differs, people call different roles different things, and your CV needs to reflect what you're aiming for and not necessarily the past. Because again, yeah, you're bringing in the transferable skills, but doesn't necessarily you don't necessarily need to use that exact language or the exact title that you were called in your previous role, because it may not be applicable here. It may not necessarily be what it's called in this other organization. Even here, there's some organizations that call product managers product owners. You can be product owner, you can be product manager. So it's really important that you look at the description. What are they describing as a product owner? What are they describing as a product manager? That's what would help you determine what you want to reflect on your CV. Because if you're applying for a product owner role, the expectation may be different from one organization to another. So you need to adapt and tweak things to reflect what you're applying for, the area that you want to focus on, so that you're not shortchanging yourself. I hope I answered that question.
Yes, I,
Right.
yes, I think that was thorough. Right,
Great.
and hope we are benefiting. So please put in your questions, and I will just ask some other community questions that we have. Right, but if you have your question, be you're on the call, you have the liberty to get your questions answered. All right. So there's just a question here around AI. Right. There's a question here around AI, and the person is asking if I use AI, the person is asking if I use AI to write my CV, does that disqualify me? Is there copyright infringement? Because I've been applying for jobs and I'm not getting response.
I love AI, right? But AI also has its downsides. When you see a CV that was written with AI and a CV that was written naturally, you would immediately know the difference. How? There are so many flags that come with AI writing CVs for you, because it's always very exaggerated and speaks all the nice English and just packages it all really nicely. It's not very natural. And if you're looking at organizations that don't even use ATS, the what's the full meaning of ATS now? There's the tracking tool that is
Yeah.
used to sift CVs. They're using ATSs, for example. Maybe it would pick the keywords, I don't know. But if humans are reviewing your CV, well, I would know if I see if I see an AI generated CV. It's not a bad thing to use AI to do your CV, to create your CV, right? But you need to adapt it. So the AI has written your CV for you. You now need to make it original by putting in your own um side of the story and making it, reflect who you truly are, and not just using all the bogus language and English. You need it to be very tailored and reflect who you really are, because you need to be able to defend it. Even if the CV gets you the interview, when you get to the interview, how would you com confidently, address those questions that are going to be raised during the interview? So it's AI is great, but with CVs, you want to make sure that you're able to tailor it as much as possible, so that yeah, you're not setting unnecessary expectations that you can't defend, essentially. Great. I hope I've answered that question. Any other question?
Yes, we have a few questions now on the chat. Um, Somebody is asking, thank you for sharing. Please, can you highlight the steps to getting the global talent visas? For example, I came in as a master student. The requirement was having a BSc or its equivalent.
Mhm.
Search and apply for a school, write a personal statement, pay tuition deposits, have fun, the bank statement, and much more. So please, can you share the step? It appears you shared the pegs and the challenges and the challenge after getting the visa. All right. Thank you. Okay. I will
Yeah.
allow you to speak to it, but in a summarized version, because this session is not to speak to the steps of getting the visa. This session is talking about working and living in the United Kingdom as a global talent. So if you've gotten the visa, the challenges to get a job, the challenges and how to navigate those challenges, what this session is about. But if you want to give a summary answer, it's fine, right, to the person.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Application for Global Talent Visa is straightforward. They do have a list of requirements. So first, you need to go through the requirements, identify the ones that you have, and I can put the link in the chat. I think there is a link to their Notion page in the chat. So, well, you can get the link to the chat. You can just search tech tech talent. I'm sorry, technician visa application requirement and all that. That's available online. So just do that whenever you're free. But essentially, the first thing you need to do is identify the eligibility criteria, and that way you determine if you are there yet, or you are almost there, or you have a lot of work to do. And you can, based on whatever you've decided, you can then identify what you need to do next, and the next stage and all that. But basically, they have the eligibility requirements all listed on their website. Um, if you qualify, if you have everything it takes already, that's great. The next step for you would then be to start to pull the documents together, get all the references, get all the recommendations, um, pull out all your evidences. Sometimes you have like links to videos, you have pictures of awards, you have publications, you have loads of different things that you can use as the evidence to support your application. Because like I said earlier on the call, you need to prove it. You can't just say, "Oh, I want to apply for a global talent visa," and then it just comes to you. They just give it to you. You need to prove that, oh, I have all of these things that are required to be eligible for it, and I can apply those things. I mean, I can provide evidences to support those things. So pull your evidences together, and once you have all of that, make sure that you get at least one or two people to review it for you because you don't want to miss anything. Get all that done. Bincom is always here to help you. Not Bincom, eMigr8 is always here to help you, um, support you through that journey if you want to. But make sure that you have all the evidences to support your application. Pull that together and then do the application. It takes a couple of weeks or so to get a response back. If you get the endorsement, all great, and then you can move to the visa application itself, which is pretty straightforward. But if you don't, I mean, there are appeal stages and all that as well. Some people have to appeal the response and all that. But again, it's all listed on their website. The requirements are listed, so you can feel free to um just search technician visa and require visa eligibility criteria requirements, and you can easily just do that. Um, and also, yeah, the steps are listed there as well. It's always updated, so you definitely want to do that yourself. See what's required and do well to decide if you want to go on that path or you want to explore other paths as well.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you. I think that's good. Thank you very much. I would just advise people in the community and people on the call that when it comes to applying for any tech visa, we advise that you do a bit of research yourself, right? Take out time to read the dotted lines, take out time to read the requirement. Technician.io is the site you want to go to. They have all the guides and all the steps there. You want to go through those steps. If you now have specific questions on how to navigate those steps, then you come into our community or any community, eMigr8 community, or you speak to an expert, speak to a coach. They are able to advise you accordingly. All right. Um, I think I can mention this here before we take the few last question. If you're on this call to this point, you've won yourself a 10-minute coaching session, free coaching session, right? All you need to do is to go into the community and tell the administrator, just drop a message on the community. I've shared the links to join the community. Just tell the administrator I was part of the June 18th open day, and they would put your name up for to connect you with a coach that you can speak to in next week, couple of days. So by next week, you'll be able to speak to a coach. What I ask is do your own research about the visa opportunities that you want to explore. Then look at the limitations you do have. Then go to those coaching sessions, talk to the coach about your limitation, and they will be able to give you guidance. That's the best way to use the coaching session. Right. So let's come back to today's session. Right.
Yep.
There's a question. Yeah, there's a follow-up question. And the person is asking, does that mean I have to tailor my CV to the job description all the time? So I think it was a follow-up question to the question of having multiple experience in Nigeria, right? They're now trying to limit it, So do I have to be tailoring my CV all the time to match the job description? Is the
Well,
question.
so that's an interesting question because it's a lot of work to tailor your CV to the job all the time. So I'll say no, you don't have to do that all of the time, but you want to set yourself up for success. I talked about the prep workbook earlier. Feel free to I'll drop the link in the chat as well. Just feel free to go on and I mean it's quite affordable. It's less than a cup of coffee, the price of a cup of coffee. You can get yourself that simple tool. What you want to do is structure your career next steps. Identify what is required to land the next job. Identify what role you are really interested in. Look at a few job roles that match your area of interest, and then tailor. You have a standard CV. You can create one single standard CV that you can just use all of the time. But there's some roles that you need to tailor the CV to reflect exactly what you're applying for, especially if you want a particular type of role. It can be, well, I don't want to speak about product specifically now, but it can be any role. As long as you have a standard CV, that would help you easily tweak things on the fly. You can easily just tweak things based on the description. If you want to, you can tweak things based on the language that they're using, because sometimes the language that you've used in your CV may be slightly different. You want to make sure that you're speaking their language. You want to make sure that you're, when I'm talking about language, I mean I'm saying the context that is being described in the job description. Some of the job descriptions are very basic. Some recruiters or hiring managers are just lazy. They just copy and paste from different sources and all that. So your standard CV is fine, and you can use that workbook to help you create one that there's a checklist on there for things that you need to look at as well. Do well to grab a copy if there's a discount for eMigr8 people already on there. So you can just scan the QR code or just go visit the link as well in the chat. That workbook will help you identify your why. What are your motivations? What truly matters to you? What kind of role are you really interested in? What are your goals for the next 2, 5, 10 years? What are the things what are the action plans you need to create? If you've identified a gap, for example, what are the things you need to do? What are the steps you need to do or take to help you get to the next level? How do you tailor your job search and all of that? How do you write your own story? Because nobody can tell your story like you do. Nobody can do it for you. You need to be able to do that yourself, and then of course you need to be able to refine your story to reflect what you're aspiring to be as well, and all that. I mean, if you do that, it would put you a step above where you are right now, because it would help you get that level of confidence, because that confidence alone is a whole lot. It helps you get onto the next level. You don't if you don't believe in yourself, it's hard for you to get people to believe in you. So you need to believe in yourself, and by believing to believe in yourself, you need to be able to own your story, write it if possible yourself. If you don't want to write it yourself, that's fine, get help. But it's always good. I advocate that you do that yourself so that it's original to you. You can own it and run with it as much as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm conscious of time, guys. So I will just have two more questions, one general question and one specific question. Right. The specific question is around job interview. Can you share Tips on how people can navigate the job interview. So now they've gotten the CV right. They are able to now get in front of a recruiter. How can they prepare for that process? And are there tips that you can share for the community?
Yeah, interview is an interesting one because there are quite a number of things that, I mean, again, back to the workbook, there's some parts of the workbook that talks about interview skills and things that you need to do before the interview, during the interview, and after the interview, right? Um, one of the things I would say is if you get an invite to an interview, that already in itself is a success, right? It means that you're doing something right and they are interested in learning about you and getting you on board. Whether or not you get that job doesn't really matter as long as you've it qualifies you to get into that role, into that room in the first place. That's a success, right? Be ready to show that you are the person for the job. And in doing that, it goes back to owning your story and being able to communicate that confidently. You need to prepare adequately. That goes without saying. You need to prepare for the interview, research, um, check check the interviewers, check out the interviewers, identify what matters to them so that you can build a rapport with them when you start the interview. Um, research about the company that you are interviewing with. What are they currently doing? What are the things that they're planning to do? What problems are they facing? So that when you're talking about the value that you want to add to them, it's relevant to their context, right? Other things could be things like making sure that you are present in the interview. So during the interview, you're not distracted. I mean, you're there on the call. Sometimes it's a virtual interview, sometimes it's an in-person interview, but you're actually there. You're showing them that you are ready for this job. You are enthusiastic about it. You're passionate about what you're talking about. You are interested in the organization. You're interested in being a part of them. You're interested in adding value to them because what's really important to them. What value are you bringing to the table? What are you going to do differently? Why should we hire you? What makes you special? What about you would make us want to hire you as well? The other thing that you need to look out for is you want to read the room as well and make sure that you are also the right fit for them. So yes, they are interviewing you, but you are also be ready to do that reverse interview as well. Ask the right questions to show not just show that you're interested in the organization, but also to see if that organization is the right fit for you because you don't want to get into the wrong organization here because they have there's already the culture difference. There's so much to learn and all that. You don't want to add too much to your plate. So be be involved, be ready to go the extra mile to find out more about them, get to understand what their priorities are and have a conversation based on that. Don't just wait for the the interview question. Don't make it a question and answer kind of thing. On the interview, when you're interviewing, on the interview and let it be a dialogue, let it be a conversation. So they ask you, oh, tell me about yourself. You talk about yourself in their context, right? I'm the product person that does digital transformation for organizations, and I see that you are talking about their organization in a way that is almost like a reverse interview, and you're basically trying to let them know that I have the skills and the experience to help your organization move forward. That's what you want to communicate during an interview. It's not just about them asking questions and you're all shaky and worried about am I saying the right thing. You're most focused on how can I help your organization move forward or help you, or your organization achieve their goals. And that would come with a lot of prep, a lot of pre-interview preparation that you need to have done. And then of course there's a follow-up as well that you can do after the interview. Sometimes it doesn't really make a difference if you ask me, but it's good to do the follow-ups because you never know if it will make a difference or not. So yeah, some of that is detailed in my in that workbook. It would help, but feel free to reach out as well directly if you need additional support.
Okay, so we're going to add, so the link to the workbook is in the chat. You can grab it from there. We're also going to add it to some of the resources that you can get in our community. Going to also be in the description of this YouTube video, right? So you can always get it. And if you need more support, we can connect you directly with a coach, of course, and we can also connect you directly with any other resource that will be useful to you. All right. The last question, I promise this is the last question. Thank you for your patience. All right. And the last question is simple. We do have different category of people, right? 5 category of people join our calls regularly, and that reflect also in our communities. We have beginner levels, right? Tech enthusiasts that are trying to navigate the tech path, right? And we have all the way to expert level, all the way to C-level executive. But I want you to speak to just 3 categories. So a C-level executive that have just moved to the UK and is trying to navigate the job space, right? What advice would you give to that individual? Right. And someone who is switching career path. So we have a lot of people in the UK, they're trying to move from education, tech route, care route to tech, and they're trying to get a job in tech. Some of them have those short courses, right? What advice would you give to them? So these are people moving into tech and they're trying to get a job within tech. And the last row is I just got into the UK. I'm a tech inclined, or I just got global talent visa. I'm a senior developer or a junior developer. What should be my first move? What advice would you give? So those 3 categories, right? What advice would you give them with regards to landing their tech job?
Okay. I mean, advice for those three categories in one go can be tricky, but one thing is consistent. You
Okay.
need to be patient with yourself. Don't put yourself under too much pressure, right? I know that the bills will not wait, right? And you want to hit the ground running and do all of that. But allow yourself, go through, immerse yourself in the process. And the process involves understanding the landscape. As a C-suite person, for example, you would probably expect to land a C-suite role, for example, here. Look at the organizations that match your expectations or organizations that you'd like to work with. Identify what their structure is like. Because here, I know in Nigeria, are very title focused. We like all the big title, director of this one, chief of that one, and all that. But here, they're not really title driven, they're more value driven. So look at the organizations, look at their structure, see where you really fit in, where you think you should be, what level you think you should be. You can go on different organizations, LinkedIn pages, look at the people in there, look at their years of experience, look at what title they're called in their roles, and use that as a baseline to present yourself, right? I'll give you an example. Back in Nigeria, uh, the role I was in before I moved here was head of product, right? But as the head of product, I was still doing like core product management work, doing like the standard stuff. And then I mean, of course, I didn't have a massive portfolio of people that I was working with and all that. So, but here, even though I have the title product manager, right, it does not deplete the level of um, responsibility that I am owning in this role versus where I was, right? And I think I even own a lot more responsibility here because I do a lot more. I have a larger portfolio. I work with more people and all of that. So don't be fixated on the titles, right? Look at the role, the responsibilities that come with that role, and use that to determine the kind of roles that you want to apply for. Another thing I'd say is start from start where you are, right? Start where you can. Don't force yourself to, or don't put so much pressure on yourself to start from wherever you want to start from. It's good to have those ambitions. And like I said, don't lose focus on those ambitions where you want to be, but allow yourself the opportunity to start where you can. As long as you have the transferable skills to do the roles that you can do tentatively. So, for example, if you're a business analyst and you've just gotten into this country and you're saying, "Oh, do I want to be a business analyst here and all of that." That's good, right? But you also want to give yourself the opportunity to learn about the culture, about the people, about how they think, about the regulatory environment, about all of these constraints and things that are not necessarily what you're used to. You may want to go into an organization as a customer service person, for example, just because you want to understand how the business works, how what the expectations are, and give yourself that opportunity to learn about this terrain. It would really help in navigating your next career path and your next decision because you I mean what one of the mistakes I made, well, I won't call it a mistake, but one of the things that happened when I just moved in here, like I said, in my previous back in Nigeria, I was doing research, doing all of that, and could easily just get contacts and just reach out to people directly and all of that. But here, the GDPR rules and all that around getting people's contacts and contacting people and doing all of that. I mean, I was just doing all that, and my manager just told me one day and said, that is not compliant with the company's, communication. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I didn't know that, but because I was there and I was already in there, I was able to identify those things and, learn on the journey. I didn't know not to contact people or get people's contacts and just, reach out. So there's so much to learn. There's so much that you need to take in and all of that. So as much as possible, do yourself that don't do yourself a disservice of putting too much pressure on yourself. Be patient and try to learn the culture, learn about the people, go out to places. Here there's a culture of going to the pub and all of that. You can say, "Oh, I don't drink" and all of that. Yeah, but you can go occasionally just to see how people think, how they talk, what's important to them, what the priorities are, and that way you'll be able to learn about them. If you want to get a job in a particular field and you're so keen about that field, you want to join those communities, join the right community, get the right support, try and immerse yourself in trainings. You may be an expert already, but doesn't mean you can't continuously improve and do all of that. So get all the trainings that you can, immerse yourself in the community groups and try and network and do all of that. Don't give up on trying. When the no's come, take it as a learning curve. Take it as a stepping stone to the next level. Don't don't be discouraged by the no's. You get loads of no's, I can assure you. It's not all rosy because those no's will come, but think about it from the positive side of things and use that as a learning opportunity to move on to the next step, really.
All right,
Oh,
thank you. It's all is left for us to ask you how we can support. Before we do that, somebody's asking on in the community already, how can we access the discounts for the book, for the workbook, right?
yeah, so with that link, you see the discounted amount once you click on that link. It's already there.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very
Cool.
much. Thank you for your time. So how can we find you? How can we support you? Right. Is there anything cooking that you need us to do? We can be testers. We have a lot of testers in our communities, right? So how can we support you and where can we find you?
Well, you can find me. I put my link tree link here. Find me on LinkedIn. Find me. Well, that's my main active social media. I'm on Facebook and Instagram as well, but they're all very private. I don't like it to be out there as much as possible.
LinkedIn is fine.
My
LinkedIn
LinkedIn is my corporate. So
is
yeah,
fine.
you can find me on LinkedIn. Do well to connect. I put the link to my link tree, just linktree/Yonjulawal. Um yeah, and you can book sessions with me if you want to. You can, yeah, reach out. Happy to. support.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for spending time and investing. We are super grateful, right? We're going to share the link to the video and the link to the book, I should say, in our communities, right? And please, guys, thumbs up for our speaker, our coach today, right? Let her feel the love. She has invested a lot in our collective journey, right? There are information that she has shared that I have taken note of, right? And the information I think would have liberated, just open your mind up to things that you can do, right? If you can remember the 6 step that she talked about, please tweet them, copy eMigr8 if you can remember them, right? Talk about them, share them with your friends. The more you share them, the more it becomes natural to you, right? So thank you very much. I will allow you go now. I will just do a bit of housekeep
Yep.
to and
Thank you, everyone.
yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for being with us. All
Thank you.
right,
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
Yep, bye. All right, guys, thank you. It's left to say if you want to contact us, I just want to share our final thoughts, all right, for this session, right? And give me a minute. Right. Where can you find us? All right. I've shared my community. I've shared our communities where you can join us. Thank you, and once more. Some benefits within our packages. We've talked extensively on that. So we have a lot of free stuff. All right. The UK Global Talent Visa do-it-yourself template is free. The Tech Nation Visa Forum Discourse channel. So if you have a question, you want to belong, you want to ask, you want a forum that you can leverage on. There's a Discourse channel that you can be part of. It's free to be part of that channel. It's similar to our WhatsApp group where we answer all questions. So we do have a WhatsApp group for Nigeria application support. It's free also. We have the eMigr8 Tech Nation Visa Office Hour, right? Like I said, if you have been on this call to this point, you've won yourself a free coaching session, right? Reach out through the community and the administrator is going to book your time in for sometime next week to speak with a coach. All right. We have open day, the one we just had now, right? That is free and a lot of questions are answered, a lot of information has been given. We do have personalized, a road mapping session, right? And also short coaching session that can be free or that can be premium. So take advantage of the community, take advantage of the offer, right? And if you want to reach out, you want more clarification, you want specific questions, maybe you could not answer your question because of the sensitivity of the question you're about to ask, or you don't want to give out a lot of detail, feel free to send a WhatsApp message to the number on the slide, right? And we would contact you, we'll get back to you. And if you need any of our service, we're able to connect you with the right resource, the right coaches, the right mentor, and point you in the right direction. All right. Thank you, everybody. It's been a pleasure hosting today and bringing this edition to you from all of us at eMigr8. We want to say thank you for your time. We want to also appeal to you to download our app. All this information, including this video, is going to be on our app once the session ends, so you can go and have a replay of the video, right? Our author has a book, and she shared the book with a discount. So use the link to get the book, a workbook for job, right? Preparation, interview, and everything is there from the beginning, CV writing, job preparation, interview preparation. It's all captured there, what you need to do, what you need to know, right? It's given at a discount, right? Do well to equip yourself with that copy of that book. It's given at a massive discount. All right. Thank you, everyone. Till next month, where we'll be coming with fresh speakers and fresh topic on eMigr8 Open Day. Take care and apply. Remember that knowledge is not power, but applied knowledge is power. So go out there, apply this knowledge, all right, and come back with your testimonials. We want to know how you're doing. We want to know how this information is impacting on your journey. Thank you very much and have a good day.